sometimes, guys, you have to, I think every time except actual intercourse and that and whatnot, you should kind of act like you don't have any private parts and just make it all about women and their bodies. Because, and this isn't about the mammary glands either, the breast. This is about the vulva. This is about the center of life. And it's not even about the fact that it's associated with birth and it's just the fact that it's our representation of ourselves as humans. And so it's what we should focus on, rather than, as fun as it is to have the luxuries of life and well-made things and great services, you know, restaurants and traveling and feeling like your world is broadening. It's still, there's nothing more important than observing and celebrating the woman in her flower. There's nothing more meaningful than providing your woman oral sex, and it's like it's transcendental. It's beyond wanting to have sex. It's beyond that biological drive, that urge for men to get off, to have an orgasm. That's not, in a way, it's not a true volunteer, because it's like a drug that's in you that operates independent of your own willpower. Now, of course, you can use your willpower to increase your sexual virility and stamina by consistent exercise and the right dieting, but you equally like this is what this is it helps people to think beyond even the idea of the previous, if your wife is not a virgin, the previous intimate partner she's had. It's like it helps you think beyond, you know, what their sexual experiences were like and what their, you know, the men's, you know, genitals were like, and it helps you to really focus on something different than the whole idea of the masculine, competitive, desire to have a dominant energy over in sex. And yes, it's you might as well do it do it while you're doing it. Like, get into the idea of the man dominating the woman during sex because it's a masculine thing to do. But I'm saying that instead of thinking about that all the time, or even being concerned about it, instead you should think about, and it's not even like like if you really look into it, you can Google, you know, these quote unquote alpha male characters, which I don't think they are, but they're kind of have that facade of the lifestyle of being rich with cars and a lot of women. But the reality is, like I said, cars are inconsequential compared to a woman's vulva. And all these quote unquote women that they have around them, they're weak women because they're not like a strong, powerful woman that would fiercely defend her mate. She would not mate guard. She's a docile, you know, kind of a wanting the man to, how do I say this? It's like not wanting the man to be exclusive with her, and she be the only one. That's a weak woman. Any woman that wants that is not really fierce. She's not passionate about him. So these characters, I'd like to specify even, not only these guys like Andrew Tate, but these guys like Myron Gaines on Fresh and Fit, even characters that talk a big talk and seem like they're cool, quote unquote, and funny, but like John Zerka, but they all claim that they think that orally pleasuring a woman is submissive, and it's like, I don't see it as submissive. I see it as like beyond even the woman. It's like worshiping the vulva itself, because it's the most beautiful, it's the most dynamic, as in it gives us a sensation to the five senses experience, and it's like the only source of peace either, because you can't get peace from intercourse. Intercourse is like a hyped up, it's like a sexual tension of like, all right, let's rah rah, let's do this. The vulva is different, and the vulva has nothing to do with if a woman has a larger or looser vagina, especially considering that pregnancy. And by the way, I do think women should have C-sections. There's a cost associated with that, but in the future we should be able to reduce that cost down, especially with potential really robotic help. And by the way, another thing is, people shouldn't be afraid to do human things. Like, you should be afraid if it's a potential safety hazard. Then you should get the right tools and learn the right protocol, and not work with certain people who are careless or who are not concerned about safety. Okay, all that considered, moving forward. So, what are we gonna look at moving forward? We're gonna look at this idea of these guys who say that they would rather have multiple sex partners rather than have, like, I would rather have over 1,000 days only one sex partner, my wife, and if I had a choice as to either her giving me oral sex, sexual intercourse, or oral sex, me performing it, I would take the me performing it, because to me that's, it's like a goddess thing. It's like worshiping something, just in the same way that people will worship a whole variety of things that people worship. But I'm not, like, my goal is not to worship other things. Like, a lot of other men will focus on all types of things, like breasts, women's mammary glands, which are made for babies, or men will focus on pets and cars and the newest tech ideas and the newest, the food. Like, they'll be just thinking of whatever it is, but they should be thinking about vulva, and that works for me. I wonder if it would work for other men. I would hope so, but it is a thing you have to get into. It's kind of there's a correlation between, I believe, people who work hard and truly wanting to be close to the vulva and be connected to it, and just be present with it and look at it. Yeah, and it should be a fun thing, and the reality is I'm not able to. I like, people think, I think, like, I'm always looking at women in public. I'm always observing what's going on, and people seem to think that, like, people might get the impression that I'm wanton and have some type of craven appetite for women. But I don't, because I care about women, and but I also have sex with myself. I'm intimate, you know. I'm like, I'm satisfied. So I'm not like, I don't need that. I'm not looking for a woman to get off, you know. So that being said, I'm a principled man. I wouldn't want to be with a woman unless she was of the same inclinations as I was, in terms of similar core values, like veganism, like no intimacy until marriage for myself and those who I call family, and this all of this in the name of true love. And then, yeah, that's what I would like in a woman, and I'm a principled man. Like, I don't want anything except that. And also, however, I do also enjoy viewing vulva the way it's under only circumstances. The woman has to be a married woman. Her husband has to want her to show off. They have to be having a loving relationship, so there's no sense of, I don't want to, I want women to feel comfortable and enjoy display. I call it displaying. That's my term for, like, showing off their vagina. It's displaying for me, and for me, it's like, it's something I want to see, but the question is, do they also want to show it off? And I want this to become a more conventional thing in society. Just like, you know how it's like massage therapy is also, like, I'm into human activities. I'm not into, sports are fun, yes, they are human. But I'm not that into like pets, and I'm not into like too many going crazy with technology, like gadgets and like video games and like TV watching, because I think that just goes too far. It strays too far from the human experience. And yes, I'm sure it's fun to produce like movie productions and everything, but the core essence of it is like theater and live performances and street performances that are essentially free. Maybe people pay for the expenses of the costs of the production costs, but beyond that, it's basically true art in its truest form. And that's kind of what I want. Yeah, that's what I want. I'll get a little closer. Take a hit. I'll take the hit. Do I need to? Yeah, I kind of do. Kind of do. Do I really? All right, guys. Let's talk soon. Aloha.